What's up, guys? We got the sunshine. Oh well. How are y'all doing? This is Alexander. Obviously, a question that came in the DMs that was a good question. It was in regards to, I was talking about discipline and using systems to create discipline, disciplined lifestyle. And how exactly do you go about making a system? How do you make a system? You know, what do I do to make a system? So, systems-based thinking, I guess the systemology of it itself, systematizing things, it is something not of an overhyped term or idea, but I realize, like anything else, that it is overwrought at times. You know, you're going to be a systems-based thinker. What does that mean? Systems are simply groupings of rules, guys. They are aggregations of rules and limitations and intentions that you combine together. And when you get enough rules together, you get enough effects together, you have a system. So just doing one thing one time, that's not a system. If you do something multiple times, many times, repeatedly, repetitively, well, then you have the makings of what would be a system of some kind. So it could be one thing, it could be many things. When you're talking about using systems to create discipline, though, what does it mean to live a disciplined lifestyle? I characterized it that there's two aspects to this. There's two aspects to discipline self-control. There is what you do, and there is what you do not do. Now, most of the time when we talk about discipline, we focus on the things that we aren't allowed to do anymore. And for a lot of people, they're obstructions and their obstacles they create to discipline. It just has to do with the fact that, well, I don't want to not be able to do X, Y, Z, and having to do A, B, C. That sounds unappealing to me. That's not what discipline is. Discipline is not just limitations. Discipline is action. People that are disciplined are characterized not only by what they don't do, but more so by what they do on a daily basis. So if you're going to create a system, well, how do I create a system that disciplines me? To create a system, you have to have some rules that you set for yourself, and you have to have some actions that you're going to do. And you will do those actions repeatedly, and there will be rules to those actions. And when you get enough rules and actions together, you end up with a disciplined lifestyle overall. Easy example, since I'm talking about this kind of theoretically, easy example. You decide that you're going to wake up early, you're going to go to the gym first thing in the morning. You're going to be disciplined doing that. How do you go about doing that? Well, that starts with just waking up. You're going to wake up at, let's say, 6 a.m. All right, well, going to the gym. Next. Okay, well, in between waking up and going to the gym, you're going to have to, let's say, brush your teeth, comb your hair, get dressed, put your gym clothes on, maybe have a cup of coffee. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things we're doing before we get to the gym. And then we get to the gym, number 6, and then we work out on itself, number 7, let's say. And then we get home from the gym, we have a post-workout shake, that's number 8. So now we have 8 specific actions we're doing on a daily basis. And if we do that repeatedly enough times over however many weeks, months, we'll be considered to be disciplined in our practice of waking up early and going to the gym. And someone will tell you, wow, you're so disciplined that you wake up at 6 a.m. every day and get to the gym. Are you so, where are they telling you, what are they so impressed by? You're so disciplined. Why? Because you're not sleeping? No, they're more impressed by your discipline and what it is that you're doing. And you've created a system for yourself. Waking up early and going to the gym, you have a system to that, and you might not think of it that way, but it is, like I said, what a system is. It's just a series of actions that lead to a specific intention. In this case, it's getting the workout in and taking care of your health. You can keep adding to that system. You go wake up early, you go to the gym, you get back, you decide, maybe you have, let's just say hypothetically you work for yourself. So you decide that before you get to emails, you're going to read for 1 hour post-gym. So then that becomes a daily practice. That's part of your system. Why are you reading? Well, you're reading to educate yourself. You're reading for self-development purposes. You're reading to, let's just say, get smarter. Another aspect to your system now that you've created. After you're reading, you're going to set a rule that you're going to write for 1 hour, hypothetically speaking. So you wake up, get ready, gym, post-workout meal, reading, writing, and then you start your workday at, let's say, 10 a.m., and now you're going to answer emails for 2 hours. You keep systemizing, and again, all the systemizing is, it's just rules and intentions. I'm going to do this at this time for this purpose, this effect. And this carries over to, or this manifests itself as scheduling. You're scheduling your energy. You're scheduling your priorities. This is why I characterize discipline as being proactively lazy in a certain way. if you're very disciplined with your day and with your time management, with your energy management, it leaves you a lot of downtime to do anything else that you want to do. If you start your day at 6 a.m., hypothetically, and you end your working day at, let's say, 3, and it's it's something, so at 6 to 12, that's a 9-hour work day. If you're done at 3 p.m. every day, then you have the whole afternoon, evening to have fuck around time. You can do whatever you want. If you want to be lazy and get back into bed, you could do that. You could binge on Netflix. I don't care. Whatever it is you want to do. The misconception with being hyper-disciplined is this idea that either you are limiting yourself all the time or that you must be constantly working and doing something all the time. That's not the case. Being disciplined is making hyper-effective usage of the time that you have, of the energy that you have, of the focus that you have, and then when you use that up, so to speak, or you've done as much as you can, then you're free to do whatever it is that you want to do. And if that's be lazy, then you get to be freaking lazy. And that's, I talked about that in one of the podcasts, and I talked about that in various threads, tweets, etc., where that, romanticization, misconception that being hyper-successful requires you to work 24/7 nonstop and you get no sleep, and you just, the hustle and grind culture, hustle and grind romanticization. Are there times when you will have to work at that level? Yes, there are. Are there times, or is the point of that to work at that level forever, to spend all your time doing that? No. I've worked with a lot of clients, as I've said in the past, a lot of hyper-successful people, and yeah, they are very productive when they are working. When they're on, they're on. But when they're off, they are very off. They might work a 10-hour workday. When that workday's done, it's done. Nothing else is being done past that point. They're very hyper-disciplined. But when they are not being disciplined in the sense that they're not actively, working, thinking, spending time on something, they might be, Sylvester the cat, just lazing, or Felix the cat, Sylvester the cat, Felix the cat. They're just lazing around. They're not doing anything. They schedule time to take naps. They schedule time to go to the gym. They schedule family time. They schedule a vacation every single month. A very good buddy of mine, Jay Campbell, one of the most productive, industrious, best men I know. Author of TRT Revolution, great guy. Jay takes vacations quite often with his wife. They take weekend getaways. They do that almost monthly. Jay's also extremely productive when he works. He can go for hours working on the same thing, but he takes downtime for himself. When he's with people, it's a time to be with people. Like I said, he's hyper-disciplined, and when he's not, he still is in a way. But that's what it means to create systems, though, to get back to the point. Creating systems to have discipline. Discipline's a manifestation of how you live. If you have systems, everything that you do, and you do those systems often, you set rules for yourself, you set intentions, you take the specific actions towards them, then, yeah, you'll be considered a disciplined person with a high level of self-control. If you don't do any of those things, then you're living chaotically, essentially. You have a chaotic lifestyle, you have a reactive lifestyle, you have a lifestyle that is out of your control, out of your ability to, influence, out of your ability to act upon, and you're just another person that's, kind of living by accident, as I like to say. How do you stop doing that? Set some boundaries for yourself, set some things, set some actions, and then go do them. So systems, systems-based thinking, systems-based living, it's not complicated. Systems-based thinking in and of itself, what does it mean to be a systems-based thinker? You think about multiple factors, not just one. That's literally it. What does it mean to be a systems thinker? I don't know why that question's so complicating to people, or why it's so confounding. Well, you can think very single-minded, or you can think, multiplicity, think in perspective. That's it. If you can only think one way, then you can only do things one way, and you are limited to the singular way that you know. That is, of itself, extremely limiting, as I just said. If you're a systems thinker, well, then you can think multiple ways. To be mindful is to be able to think multiple ways. You're multi-minded, if you want to say it that way, and you have a lot more creative freedom and possibility and energy and constructive thought, so to speak, where you can create the life you want for yourself, or solve problems, or craft solutions, etc., etc., etc. You're better able to understand and comprehend things. But if you're single-minded, well, then hopefully your single-mindedness serves you at times. There are times to be single-minded in life, no doubt, but not all the time. So that is systems thinking for you. That's how to create systems to have discipline. Hopefully that answered the question. The gentleman that asked the question, whose name I forget at this point, because everyone uses fake fucking names for the Twitter feed half the time, and I have no idea who any of you actually are. And you also use pictures that are utterly ridiculous, so no one wants to show their real face for whatever reason. But that's besides the point. Any questions, people? Any questions? I am talked out. If you've asked a question in the last 10 minutes, I completely ignored it. Yes, no, maybe so, ladies and gentlemen. No questions? No? I'll give it 1 minute and then we'll shut it down. Otherwise, you guys are just going to watch me drive, which that is not very thrilling of in itself. At least I don't think so. In a conflict, how do you know if you are wrong? If you lose. That's how you know. Or if you feel horrifically fucking guilty in your gut. Isn't what you call a system just a habit? A habit is singular. Habit is, I would characterize a habit as being one thing. A system is an accumulation of habits. Think of it that way. You could wake up early every day and then fucking do nothing for 3 hours and still go to work at the same time. That would be, an unproductive habit. So a system is, like I said, it's a set of rules and actions, but it's multiple things that you're stacking on top of each other. Call it habit stacking, if you want to call it that. There's lots of ways to define that. A system by any other name is still a system. You're very welcome. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? You have the open forum. Now would be the time to ask. Any tips to systemize sleep routine? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question. So everyone struggles with sleep for many reasons. Foremost, the most critical reason, the exposure to blue light. So cell phone and computer screen, laptop screen, that will keep you up. Blue light exposure basically triggers your brain to think it's daytime all the time. So if you are on a phone, laptop, smartphone, whatever, you have to get off that. Now, if you don't want to get off that, which understandably a lot of people don't, what you can do to get better sleep, get blue light blocker glasses. You can purchase these off Amazon. They're not that expensive. They will block the blue light from the screen. That in itself will cut that spectrum out of your visual stimulus, and that can help start to restoring your sleep patterns. The other thing, though, is restoring circadian patterns, aside from the blue light factor, you have to stop stimulating yourself before you go to bed. So this can be traced back to, the digital influence, but if you are, like I said, if you're online all the time, if you're on your phone constantly, if you keep yourself awake and you're sort of waiting to pass out, even if for some people, if you eat really late in the day, that can keep you awake. If you're having caffeine late in the day, that will keep you awake. Any of those factors that are stimulating to you in the evening time, all that's going to interfere with your ability to fall asleep in the first place. So you have to start removing those things. Systemizing a sleep routine, I don't know if you'd even call it a routine. It's really just, it's better, healthier living. So after a certain time, let's say 7, 8 o'clock, you are not on your computer anymore. You're not going to be on your phone. You're going to, have your last meal, hopefully, not right before you try to go to bed. And you're going to focus on relaxation. And you're going to get yourself into a relaxed state that when you fall asleep, it happens naturally, and you're able to fall asleep without much trouble. If you don't do that, well, then you're always going to be struggling with sleep. That's why certain sleep supplements, they don't necessarily make a difference. You can take all the melatonin you want. You can take 5-HTP. You can take, the ZMA. They can help with sleep, but if your ability to fall asleep is highly compromised, they're only going to have so much of an effect. Modern world, modern lifestyle, a lot of us, everybody, I can include myself in this, we just keep each other up. Everyone keeps themselves up. Everyone stresses out all the time. Everyone's always kind of looking for the next quick, the dopamine fix. Everyone wants, the hit of the rush of dopamine, or the rush of outrage. Maybe if you're one of those people where you get online, just piss yourself off, and all that interferes with your ability to rest and recover. So you have to rearrange all those factors, and that starts oftentimes with just limiting the digital electronic usage, and or at least cutting the the blue light spectrum off the visual stimulus for you. So start there. That was a good question. Thank you for asking that. How long do you sleep? I sleep about 7-8 hours. I've gone through periods of time where I only slept 4 hours, and I can do it. I mean, I guess everyone can, but it was really compromising to my health, massively so. I basically just spent the whole year just constantly in pain, hurting, didn't recover properly, so it's not sustainable. Quit sugar, using honey as a substitute. Is it a good choice? Yeah, honey, honey is still sugar. That said, honey does digest slower, so to speak, than regular table sugar, and the insulin response is not quite the same. So I guess it's, I don't want to say it's a lesser of two evil situation, but if I had to pick one for somebody, should you have honey or should you have table sugar? Go with the honey. Honey at least also has some smattering of micronutrients in it, where you can argue that it's to your benefit. So yeah, honey's fine. Night workouts equal bad for sleep. Probably. If that's the only time you can train, that's the only time you can train, then you're going to have to make do. But overall, I've personally found, and with clients, I found that night workouts, they tend to keep people awake more than they help them fall asleep. And the other thing being, the quality of the workout unto itself is compromised due to the fact that it's nighttime, you're probably not at full energetic capacity, so you can't quite perform at the level that you necessarily would be capable of if it were earlier in the day. That said, if that's the only time that you can train, then I guess go ahead. But ideally, like in an ideal lifestyle scenario, I wouldn't have anyone train late in the evening. Early morning to late morning to midday. Once you start working out past, let's say, like, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, just because the workout into itself causes an endorphin rush later on and adrenaline release, it's usually not conducive to sleep quality at all. And you end up waking sore. You become sore in the middle of the next day. So no, it is suboptimal. Let's say it that way. Good question. What else you got, ladies and gentlemen? What else you got? Questions. If you're going to ask them, ask them. I never know if there's a lag on this or not. I think there is in the video. It always seems like people respond to the statements about maybe 20 to 30 seconds after I say them. Any thoughts on sauna use? Saunas it's really come down to a personal preferential choice. Saunas, I can make a case for, let's say, if you trying to recover from injury and you want to maybe this increase overall systemic blood flow. But saunas into themselves, you sweat. Hi, Alejandro. Hi, Candace. Saunas make you sweat, so that's it. If you want to sweat extra, then sure, by all means do so. If you sweat a lot during your workout, then you sweat a lot during your workout. I don't know that they're that really necessary at all. It's more so just if you just like using them. Lactose intolerant, any substitute for a protein shake, just go with a vegetarian protein, vegan protein basically. So most vegan proteins are going to be blends of like protein, hemp, rice, pumpkin, cranberry seed. Just go with one of those. You can even go with soy protein if you want to, provided it's high quality, it's been scrubbed. But yeah, this vegan protein source, that works fine. Anything else we feel compelled to ask people? Deadlifts have changed my life. Good for you. They usually have that effect for people. All right, we are here. We're done? All right, we're done, ladies and gentlemen. Good talk, good questions. Talk to y'all again.